The rivalry renewed. After an incredible first two windows, Japan takes their show on the road and will put their perfect record so far to the test as they battle the basketball powerhouse that is China. Welcome everyone to Group C action here in the Shenzhen Sports Center in a thrilling aftermath of Mongolia and Guam in the window. China has now qualified for the FIBA Asia Cup in Saudi Arabia for 2025. Like we just mentioned there, Guam and Mongolia just tipped off, and after this game, of course, Guam and China will go head-to-head. That game will be on Sunday, and then Mongolia and Japan will follow quickly after. But now we've got two teams here that have qualified for the FIBA Asia Cup. Japan and China on top of the Group C rankings, and Japan just narrowly inking out China as of right now for the one spot in this group. So in the power rankings, if we're looking at them right now as we go into window number 3 of the Asia Cup qualifiers, game day 5, Japan number 4 in the power rankings on the road. They might be lacking some star power according to their training camp roster, but Coach Tom Hovis does not mind that feat. The head coach always seems to enjoy mixing up rotations and trying out new things, which has worked for him and the program so far in the big picture. And there's Coach Hovis right there. Will we get to see any new exciting talents rise out of the ranks for Japan in this window? Well, we'll talk about that and a lot more. And China actually ranked 1 above Japan in the Asia Cup rankings. Interesting, right? That Japan was number 1 in the standings, but 1 behind China in the rankings. And that's because China has done some retooling of their roster, and their captain Ray Chow, as well as Zhao Chu, has been active in China's training camp, and that might be the biggest confidence booster for China under the tutelage of Go Shuqiang, their head coach, as they really needed that roster boost in order to get them where they wanted to go. And there's Shuqiang right there, who has kind of been their, for lack of a better phrase, go-to man when they needed to retool this roster. And now we'll pause for the visiting national anthem. And now for the Chinese national anthem. Again, China has now officially qualified after Guam suffers the loss to Mongolia just moments ago. And that game actually will be very interesting coming down to the wire on Sunday when it comes down to point differentials for which team can indeed qualify, because they're exactly tied right now as it is. So the last meeting between China and Japan ended up inking that one out 78-73. That was almost exactly a year ago to the day. And our officials for today's game, Jaladri Park and Mung Mi, will be calling the shots from the floor here at the Shenzhen Sports Center in the People's Republic of China, scheduled for a 7:30 tip-off here, and we could not be more excited because these two teams have been dominant powerhouses in the Asia Cup for quite a few years. So I was mentioning the last matchup, Japan won over China 76-73, came down to the wire. Well, before that, China had won 4 in a row. Japan had not beaten China since 2017 in the FIBA Championship for men, the EAPA. So it has been a while since Japan had gotten a win over their rivals in China. And China, on the other hand, saw that, came back, retooled under their head coach, Go Shuqiang, who is well known as the go-to crisis manager for the Chinese men's basketball team. Japan's starting lineup right there. You got Hosokawa, Sasaki, Kirk, Inui, and Yoshi taking the floor. Yoshi, the captain, in his 6th year playing for the Japanese national team under Tom Hovas, who has also done a great job of retooling this roster, and actually said before the game that it was going to be a younger window just because they already knew that they had qualified, but he really wanted to find what new younger players he had in Japan to mix them in with some veterans. So that's really what he was telling us beforehand. He said, since we have qualified, it does give us a chance to try different lineups, concepts, and plays. Younger players will get vital experience, and Japan basketball should become stronger because of that. And now, for the starting 5 of the hometown team, China. Song, Shu, Chao, Cho, and Junlong Chu will be the starting 5 for the Chinese men's basketball team here in Shenzhen. In front of their home crowd, should be a pretty packed arena. We are anticipating quite a crowd here, and like I was talking about, Shuqiang, who the head coach they brought in, and the team has regained their winning ways since he replaced the much decorated Serbia coach Djordjevic. They routed Guam and Mongolia in that order, and now face Japan once again, this time, you know, in front of this home crowd. And originally they could have clinched the qualification to the FIBA Asia's flagship event if they had won this game, but now they automatically qualify with the defeat of Guam by the hands of Mongolia. Shuqiang said, first, both games in window 3 are very important. Team Japan and Team Guam are both very respectable opponents. We must maintain the same attention to them and strive to win. Obviously, we all know that these two teams are pretty much the rivals of each other. So when he was asked, okay, Japan or the team will face after Japan, obviously, you know, we know where his head was out. And a very respectable coach as well. Didn't want to give too much into that, but we're getting set now for tip-off at center court. Alex Kirk for Japan will be jumping things away, standing at 2.11 meters. The USA naturalized Japanese basketball player at 32 years old, playing in his 2nd year at center court, will tip off opposite of Chi Cho, who plays for the Beijing Ducks out of the Chinese Basketball Association, the CBA. So both men at center court ready to get this thing going. Cho in his 11th season. We welcome everyone in to our coverage of Asia Cup qualifiers. Window number 3, we're in game day 5, China and Japan. The rivalry will be renewed. Underneath, Kirk got a hand on the first shot from Cho, and he was not able to get anything to go on that first possession. So the first possession unsuccessful for China on their first run down. Kirk trying to box out down low, and it's a turnover. So back-to-back sloppy possessions here. Now underneath, and a foul is how the scoring could start here in the China versus Japan matchup. Japan in their away red jerseys with the white letters and black trim. China in their home whites with the red letters and yellow trim. Cho. So the first one rims out for him. The 7'2", 2.12 meter man from the charity stripe. Wearing number 15. Did not play in their last competition. Missed both free throws, but then got it back and out beyond the arc. He'll be fouled by Hosokawa, his first foul. So now 2 team fouls already on Japan in the opening 36 seconds of the ball game. Cho just got tangled up on the outside there. And now here comes the inbound from Jieshu. Running the point, Ray Chow, the captain for the Chinese national team, going inside. Wrapped up, and we're going back the other direction. So here's Hirotaka Yoshi. Yoshi, the captain for Japan. Now Sasaki down the left lane. Kirk can't hang on to it. We're going back the other direction. With the first bucket of the game, China will open this one up. Junlong Chu, who's had a couple back-to-back double-figure games. He's their leading scorer for the Chinese national team. Now a drive inside by Yoshi. It'll get pretty loud here in the Shenzhen Sports Center as well. That 3 off the mark. Huge rebound there for China. China going left to right as you're seeing it on your screen right now. The step back from Song. And an off-ball foul on the rebound down near that left block. Hosokawa called for his second personal foul already. So he picks up 2 early ones here. Japan still has not scored yet in the ball game. 3 team fouls though for them, and we'll have our first substitution. That's Kazuma Tsuya coming into the ball game for Hosokawa, who's going to check out with those 2 personals. From the right side of the basket, baseline out of bounds will go in. And now in the right corner, Chow from the right. Elbow jumper is good. So Ray Chow, the captain for China, playing for the Xinjiang Flying Tigers and the Chinese Basketball Association. Underneath, there's a massive block down low by Fanbo Song. Pushing with numbers, knocked out of bounds by Hirotaka Yoshi. China gets it right back. Great recovery on that end, though, by Japan after they blocked the shot down on the other end. Here you see the drive by Sasaki, and Song had something to say about it. Jieshu by himself. Another possession for China. They'll wheel and deal. And the third one. Hey, 3 times the charm, Jeshu getting the point. China, an early 6-0 lead in the ball game. Japan's got to get on the board here, and they do not. Two and a half minutes now through the first quarter. China, 8-0 run to start off the ball game. Ray Chow with the bucket. And China forces Japan to take their first timeout. Tom Hovas not liking what he sees, and we will check in on the huddles as China opens up to an 8-0 lead. They lead here with 7:15 to go.
We're losing the physicality. Right? Be physical. Be strong when you drive in. Right? Come on now. Let's get into it. Let's go.
So you heard Coach Hovas for Team Japan specifically saying that, you know, on their drives they need to be as physical as China. They need to match the physicality of how China is when they're playing inside, and Japan needs to be a little bit stronger in his eyes on their drives as they go inside. So here's Kai Taves, who has spent some time in America as well, playing for UNC Wilmington in North Carolina. Moved to USA as a 14-year-old and attended a preparatory school. Inside, the first one comes for Alex Kirk. So Kirk dunks that one down, and now Japan finally on the board, their first time this evening. From the far side. Six seconds to work with. And Kirk called for the foul. I believe that's Kirk's second personal. And it is. He will have to check out. So 2 fouls on Kirk, 2 fouls on Hosokawa. 2 of the starters are out with 6:32 left to go in just the first quarter here. Japan, 4 team fouls. One more, China's in the bonus for the rest of the first quarter. Quick stop and go by Song. Tries to give it inside to Cho, and it's turned over. Japan playing from the outside. Roy Chow will slow it down up top. The captain last played in the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup, and that one goes through. So just as I mentioned his name, he gets on the board. He's got 6 points in the ballgame, 6 of China's 10. From the right corner, Japan hitting from the outside. Hirotaka Yoshi, so both of the captains for both of the squads scoring in their team's respective last 2 possessions. Chi Cho with the give off. Now Fanbo Song. 5 to shoot it for China. The floater off to the right side. And Jeshu just misses that one. So China bringing in Run Wong Du and Zhang Cho Hu. Now some of the starters will get a little bit of rest, and Ren Konechka Checking in as well for Soichiro Inoue. Inoue playing some good minutes so far. And from the near side, the inbound coming from Ray Chow. Runwang Du with his first touch on the ball immediately. And Jess Shu now down the lane. Comes to a stop, puts up the floater, left it short. Inside, Taves back out. Taves got the ISO on the outside. Left. Now Yoshi. No. Great rebound there. Junlong Chu. A bullet down low. Some room made. Who got his own rebound? Stuffed at the rim. And it goes out last off of him. Great defensive possession by Japan. And that's hard to stop. Jang Cho-hu at 2.1 meters in his 5th year playing for Team China. And he was coming off the bench here, but he's had a couple 20-plus point games so far in the windows that are qualifying for this Asia Cup. So Taves running the point here in his 5th year playing for Team Japan, tearing it up in the Japanese B1 League. Now on the near side, Konechka leaves that one short. A low scoring first quarter here. We're well over halfway through the preliminary period. One dribble. Who? Creating some room and finishing right on top of Hugh Watanabe. His first bucket of the ball game, averaging about 18.5 per game. Quite the stat line though for him. 18.5 points, 7.3 rebounds, 1 assist, almost a block per game as well. As Ray Chow will probably get to sit for the remainder of the first period here. At one point had 6 of China's 10 points to start off. Japan living from the outside to start off this game. They're now 1 for 7 from 3 in the contest. Chung on the other side, trying one, and look out down low. Jang Cho-hu looks to be all right. Hit the ground pretty hard there. But Japan, out of their 9 total shots from the field, choosing to take 7 of them from beyond the arc. And they're 1 for 7. China has not made a 3 yet, though, in this game either. They're 0 for 4. Now Taves will open it up from deep. After that scoring drought for Japan, Kai Taves, who's shooting 50% from 3 in the qualifiers, hits that one. Japan trailing by 4. From the right corner, Chu, no. Taves, the hook. How did he get that one to go in? And Japan on a run right now. They only trail by 2. And it's been Kai Taves who's turned it up a notch. Taves with 5 points. And his plus-minus so far at +6. China's going to take a timeout after Japan goes on their run. We'll listen in. 2:36 to go here in the first quarter of this rivalry game between China and Japan. China with a 2-point lead coming out of the timeout there. And coach Go Chuchiang essentially telling his squad that they just need to continue to use their physicality and be better down low. Got to be better at making their threes as well. Have not hit a 3-ball in this game so far. And with a team like Japan and a foul on the floor, it's going to lead to 2 shots for China. They are in the bonus now. Yep. So Kazuma Suya picks up a personal there. And now Sanning Liao to the line. Couple of missed free throws as well for China in this one. And in fact, have not made a free throw in the ball game yet. Liao, a 91.7% free throw shooter, splits those two. And China with their first made free throw of the ball game, but they only lead by 3. Nice move by Taves there, getting across the half-court line, spinning down the lane, pumps fakes to a stop, and they give it right back to him. Taves, crafty from the outside. Double team, swings it left. 3 on the way, Konechka. Almost missed everything there, but Akaho gives him another opportunity, and that one's well off the mark as well. Japan 4 for 13 from the floor so far in this game. They're 2 for 10 from beyond the arc. And they've been consistently good inside though. Big block down low. Watanabe got up there. From the outside, that man left alone. Konechka misfires on that one as well. Konechka looking for his first 3 to fall. He's 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. Looking to make his first 3 of window number 5. Played in the last window as well. Only played in 1 game. Didn't make a 3 in that contest. But getting some good run in here. The inbound from Tsuya. Taves wearing lucky number 7. 1 dribble, pump fake. Watanabe manufacturing a bucket down low there. Japan trails by 1. China wanted one right back. The rebound and the putback. Jung Cho Hu. Who's got 4 points and 3 rebounds. Taves directing traffic. Looked like he wanted to pass that one down low and just misfired. It went off the backboard. Wide open lane and a clear-cut finish. Jung Cho Hu. Plays for the Zhejiang Guangsha Basketball Club in the CBA. That one's stolen away. Another bad offensive possession by Japan. Inside, Liao creating some room and finishing. Liao can score with the best of them, averaging 10 points per game. But an interesting feat that he's accomplished is he's been getting his assists up here in the qualifying windows, averaging over 4 a game. A quick take inside by Konechka, and as time expires, did he get it off in time with his left hand? The official waves him off, no, and that'll end the first quarter. China on top of Japan by 7 points. In a game in which the Chinese were looking for their revenge after their loss almost exactly a year ago to the day. On Sunday, February 25th, 2024, that was the 2025 qualifiers window number 1. Japan lost that one 76-73 as we check out some of the numbers here. Obviously, both teams not shooting how they want to from beyond the arc, but Japan obviously taking way more. 11 three-pointers they've taken, they've only made 2. Obviously, China plays the inside-out game because of their size, where they can get the ball inside and work inside out. But they still not even made a 3 yet in the first quarter, and we'll check out our best plays from a very low-scoring first quarter. No team has even eclipsed 20 points yet. I mean, there's only been 31 points scored in the ball game as well. Jung Long Chu, though, got going early. And then on the other side, Fanbo Song with the block. And Ray Chow actually did take over in that first quarter as well. He had 6 points, good for the tie in the lead most. Alex Kirk with the slam. And then it's just Chow directing traffic, getting his guys open, and China using their size so well down low and inside. Jiang Cho-hu at the end of that first period as well had some open opportunities like that dunk right there. So Japan shooting 75% from 2 so far to start off in this game, but they've only taken 4 shots inside. Hey, download the Courtside 1891 app if you scan that QR code in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Keep up with all of the Continental Cup qualifiers all across the world. Streams, schedules, scores. Courtside 1891, your source for all of international basketball. Opening up the second quarter here. China with a 9-point lead on Japan. That's their biggest lead of the game, and the right-hand finish from the inside by Taktu Nakamura. His first bucket of the game. Saning Liao to the outside. Song lines that one up and drills the first 3 from deep for China. Song shooting 3 balls at a 27.3% clip, but he'll cash that one in from deep. China makes their first 3 in 6 attempts as a team. Nakamura now left that one short. Both these teams do like to play with a little bit of pace, but have actually opted to slow the ball down in this matchup. Jiwei Chow, that's 2 in a row for Team China. That is Chow's first 3-point made field goal of the qualifying windows. Played in 2 games so far for China, and only was averaging 2 points in about 21.8 minutes per game. And here you see his 3 on the back of Song's. And it's plays like that that now when you look up at the scoreboard, if you're Japan, you're trailing by 13. And you still have 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Backdoor cut underneath. And Japan touched it last. That one goes off of Hirotaka Yoshi. And another thing, Japan got in some foul trouble early in that first quarter as well. Alex Kirk and Kazuki Hosokawa had to go out early in that first quarter due to foul trouble. Fanbo Song went up strong there, missed the shot on his putback, made it, but was fouled before that. And Koya Kawamata is called for the foul. Take a look at the replay here. Song with the drive inside, and Kawamata got him right there on his arm. And that first one is good. Fan Song plays for the Beijing Ducks in the Chinese CBA. Song, both a great scorer and great defender on the other side of the floor as well, averaging about 10.5 points per game, but has at least one block in every game that he's played in for the qualifiers so far. Averaging about 25.1 minutes per game in the 2 games in the last window. In traffic, Song with the block right on cue. Now he's got a block in every single game of the qualifiers, and Kawamata called for another foul on the other end of the floor. Japan now has 3 guys who all have 2 personal fouls early here in this ball game. So that means Alex Kirk is going to check back in. Japan 2 team fouls, China with 1. China with a 14-point lead here in the first half. From the line, it's Ray Chow, the captain, makes his first of the 2 free throws. Overall, in his FIBA career, now played 6 years for the Chinese national team, averaging 9.8 points per game, 2.4 rebounds, and 2.7 assists. Great efficiency at 8.2. Didn't play in the last qualifying window. In fact, hasn't even played yet in the qualifiers, but comes in after he competed for the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup team, where he played in all 5 games, averaged 12.6 points per game, and immediately named the captain for this squad. Taves in traffic, blocked up top by Song. He's now had 2 blocks in back-to-back games of the qualifiers. The step back from Taves, that's pure. Good to see Japan get back on board, and when they were trailing back in the first quarter, it was Taves tacking on a few points of his own to will Japan back into the game. He's got 7 points now. He's 3 for 4 from the field. The elbow J from Liao. And Kirk grabs the board. Nice stop and go. The reverse, the foul, and the make. Ryosei Sasaki for a chance at a 3-point play. Fouled by Chow right underneath the basket. That'll be Chow's first personal. Second team foul. Sasaki converts on the free throws. Free throw. It's a broadcaster's jinx if I tell you what his free throw percentage is, so I'm not going to be the one to do it. Nice alley-oop try thrown there to Chi Cho, who instead decided to just wait for it, threw up a pump fake, and got one to fall. Kirk setting a screen well out beyond the arc. Taves now spinning into the lane. Had that one poked away by Song, who dove for it, got it to get away, and it's a 3-on-2 now. Japan knocks it away. From the left side, they give it into Kirk, and a foul on the floor. So that foul will go on Fan Song. Nice job there defensively by Sasaki, knocking that one away. And then they obviously just tried to get that into Kirk immediately. And the shot off the mark there by Japan, who trails by 13 points. 6 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Chow, and an off-ball foul That one going on Hiro Takayoshi. Yoshi picking up his first personal. So Shuai Peng Chung checking out. That one off the mark. Japan trailing by 13 after beating China by 3 a year ago. That one swished through from the outside. Ryosei Sasaki, who shoots threes at a 33% clip. Averaging about 3.5 points per game, has 6 in this contest. Now inside, the floater and the finish by Chi Cho. Cho's an interesting guy as well. Hasn't played in any of the qualifiers for the Asia Cup 2025, but in his FIBA tenure, averages 13 a game, and that one knocked in from the outside. Sasaki's catching fire. He's got 9 points. Sasaki with his game high of all of the qualifying windows. From the outside, Chow doesn't get a shooter's bounce there. Japan pushing. Sasaki. Taves gets the screen from Kirk, now double sets it back to the other side. Taves on the step back 3, yes sir! Japan heating up here in the latter end of the second quarter. Trailing by 6, it's been Sasaki who's been cashing it in from deep to start off with. And then Taves says, you know what, if my guy can do it, I can too. The teammates drilling back-to-back threes, and Japan trailing by 6. We'll listen into the China timeout. (34-28) here. China with a 6-point lead in the second quarter. But Japan going on a quick 6-0 run there on the back of Sasaki and Taves. Inbounding the ball is Chow. Japan with full court press. And they get that one easy into Jung Lu Chu. Chow picks up his dribble. Jiwei Chow now. Will step back, gets the screen from Cho. Jiwei Chow out to Cho. Can the big man hit it? Just off the mark. And a foul by China. Now down on that side of the floor. Fourth team foul on China now. One more and Japan will be in the bonus. Over halfway now through the second quarter. Coach Xu Qiang and Coach Hovas for both squads there. Doing a great job of directing these two teams. Japan, who's been on the come up. A 3 from the outside, that one off the mark. And the rebound by Chow. Roy Chow now on the near side. as Jiwei Chow had that one almost knocked away. He'll spin now, tries to go right, steps back, takes a three, fouled, missed it far, but goes to the line to shoot three. Jiwei Chow fouled from the outside there. The 6'1", 1.85 meter guard for Chinese national team plays for the Liao Yang Flying Leopards in his 10th year playing for the Chinese national team. Makes his first free throws of the qualifiers. First two are good, averaging about 2 points per game in his 2 games he's played so far. Averaging about 21.8 minutes per game. Cashes in on all 3. And the lead for China has expanded again. Back to 9. Japan now with possession after Jiwei Chow's 3 made free throws, excuse me. Taves with a bullet into the left side. Sasaki now going baseline. Picked up his dribble. Now in the corner, Akaho for 3. Kirk the rebound. Sasaki pump fakes. Saw lane and now will reset. 6 to shoot it. Taves for 3. Blocked up top by Ji Cho. They rip this one all the way down the floor, and Cho is fouled. Both teams now in the bonus. So Chi Cho now at the line, the center for the Beijing Ducks and the national team here for China. Misses that first free throw. Chicho with 4 points and 3 rebounds so far in the ball game. Has yet to make a free throw though. And sometimes the inverse broadcaster's jinx happens. Makes his first free throw right there. Right on cue. So Inoue checks out for Japan. 10-point lead for China. Final 2:47 to go here in the second quarter. Inside, foul. Very obviously on Chicho there. A little too handsy. If you look at these two teams, obviously China with their height has been dominating inside, out rebounding most of the teams that they've played in all of the windows, especially on the offensive side of the ball. When they go for their rebounds, 12.8 offensive rebounds per game is their average as Sasaki hits his first free throw. Sasaki from the line. He's had a positive plus-minus in efficiency in each game so far that he's played in. Coming off of a game where he only played 9 minutes. Inside, the high-flying Junlong Chu for the flush. Sasaki into the right corner. That one blocked. Again, Fanbo Song with 3 blocks here in the first half. Jiwei Chow pushing inside. They give it right back to Song. China, just like that, gets a couple of blocks. Some made buckets on the other end. Timeout Japan. They trail by 12 now here in the first half. Fanbo Song on the other end gets a block, and you give it right back to the man. Reward him for making a play on the defensive end, and now on the offensive side, you get the punch in by 2. Japan trailing. Point lead for China here in the second quarter. Both teams are in the bonus, but China goes on a run there, forcing Japan to call a timeout. And you heard Coach Hobos really, they're trying things out because they've already qualified for the Asia Cup, but obviously you want to beat your rival as well. So he clearly was looking to get Hosokawa in some actions. From the outside, that one off the mark. Going back the other direction. So Japan not really shooting it well from the outside in this game. 5 for 21 so far. Taking 21 three-pointers compared to China's 9. And China with another one there. A minute 10 to go in the second quarter. Hosokawa launches that one from deep. No. Song falls as he got it to his man Liao. Liao down the lane, cruising, missed it. Got a block up front by Watanabe. Saved. Now inside Song, the give off, and then the final finish by Jang Cho-Hu. Who in his 5th year playing for the national team has played in all 4 games of 2024 in the qualifiers. Averaged about 19.5 minutes per game. 18.5 points. Didn't start though, which was interesting. But Hu now has 10 points for China. He's scored in double figures in every single game he's played for the national team here. He's got 6 or more made free throws in all of them. He's got 5 made field goals in this one. Sasaki, easy money from the line. So the screen outside by Hu. A tangle up by Liao and a foul on the floor. So Japan, who fouls China, who is in the bonus. Both teams obviously in the bonus. Final 28.3 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Liao from the line. 1 for 2 so far in the ball game. Easy money. He's averaging about 10 points per game so far in the 2 games he's played in back in the last window. Coming off of a game where he had 13 points in 20 minutes of play. His efficiency was 21, a plus 19 when he was on the floor. But the interesting thing for him is he gets to the free throw line, shot 12 free throws in that contest. 12 of his 13 points came from the free throw line. Or 12 shot attempts, I should say. Final 20 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Japan trailing by 16 points. Sasaki up top. Winding the shot clock down. Had that one tapped away by Song. Song is having a stellar defensive game so far. He's got 2 steals and 4 blocks. And on the other side of the floor, he's been great as well. 8 points, 3 of 5 from the field. Perfect from 2, 1 of 3 from beyond the arc. 7.1 to go. And that foul will go against China. Fanbo Song picks that one up. So Song now in 3 games, though, has 1 block. And now in 2 straight games, he's got 2 or more blocks. Had 2 blocks in their last contest. So China coming off of a win over Mongolia, Japan coming off of a win over Guam in their last window of games. But China really poured it on Mongolia. 90-52 was the final score in that one. They're already halfway there in this contest. Raita Akaho, his first 1 point after he splits the free throws, but that's his first made free throw, first made point of national team action as a member of the senior national team in his first year playing for them. So like Coach Hovas told us, we'll see a lot of younger guys in this window just to see who we can mix in with the usual crowd for the Asia Cup. And now in the final 7.3, China can take the last shot of the quarter. They lead by 15. Inside, Chow flips it up and in. As the clock expires, the captain for the national team had 7 seconds on the inbound and took it all the way up the floor. And he'll finish the first half in double figures. 10 points, 4 of 6 from the field to go along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. And at the half, Japan down by a big mark, trailing by 17 points to the hometown team in China. Here at the Shenzhen Sports Center for the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers, window number 3, it's game day 5. As we check out some of the stats from that first half. Obviously, Japan not shooting it well from the outside, have taken 22 threes, only cashed in on 5 of them. China opts for a little more of an inside-out game. China completely out-rebounding Japan in the contest as well. And as you know, Japan actually averaging in the qualifiers a few more rebounds per game, but we'll check out our best plays of the second quarter. A lot of this is going to be Fanbo Song, who was hitting from deep. He was getting steals. He was getting blocks. And Ji-Wei Chow ended up getting to the line as well a couple of times. There's a Song block right there. And Taves, that one actually able to get that one to fall on Song. And Chi Chow, they're happy to have him back. because he's been stellar and he's the big body they need to combat the height of Alex Kirk. Ryosei Sasaki did get going though a little bit in that second quarter. Hit a couple of threes along with Kai Taves. And Coach Tom Hovas really digging into the arsenal of what Team Japan has as they're going to go into the Asia Cup, which will be played in Saudi Arabia. They'll be in Jeddah just a couple of months from now. Jiwei Chow and Song with the finishes, and Go Shuqiang, who has been the national team head coach on and off here. You know, and whenever he takes some time off and the team starts dipping, they bring back their go-to man, and he'll obviously get the job done. And he just coaches, great coaches just know how to coach, and he's one of them. 50-33 at the half here. We'll step aside. See you on the other side of the half.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they'd do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Now here come Guam. On the trap on the ball screen. Combo finding an opening, goes in. Another rejection. Sayonara. One more time. Well, what a block by Hawkinson.
Under 2 minutes to go. Wardenberg, jam! Puts Gilbeck on a poster. Sam Wardenberg.
Oh, what a feed. Oh, behind the back to the one-hander. It's showtime here in Jeddah. Iraq lighting it up.
Beautiful crossover from Harris. Euro stepping towards the bucket, and Gilbeck is there again. Little stare down. No easy looks around here.
Tucker picks up his dribble over to the right side. Dwyery in the middle. Oh, behind the back pass and the finish. What an acrobatic play there by Dwyery to get the pass to Abbas, who's fouled and will go to the line to shoot the and one.
Ross almost loses it. It's turned over. And again, China on the run. And again, it's that man, Zheng Fangbo, jamming it home. There might even be a chance for a quick heave at the end, but what a finish to that half from the Chinese.
The crowd is into it after Jawada's spectacular drive. The pass, it's all behind the back. Thailand showing some showtime.
Iran, sideline possession. Amini attacks, blocked to the rim. Big time play by Qatar.
Now he'll give it to El Hamwi, but it's a turnover. Nice interception. They'll give it to Spellman. Spellman down the lane. We just saw a man fly. Fouled as he was doing it. And a huge opportunity here for Spellman for a chance at a three-point play.
Long inbound pass, catch and shoot, three ball, Abdullah no good. Al Zahiri won't get it to go. Another heave, three-quarter call. This time, no way! How is this even possible? Al-Muwallad hits the buzzer at the half. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Getting you ready for second half of action here between China and Japan. China currently with a 50-33 lead over Japan, and obviously both of these teams will qualify for the FIBA Asia Cup played in Saudi Arabia 2025, coming up just a couple of months from now. But if China is able to pull this game off with a win by over 3 points, they will retake the #1 spot in the group. That's Group C action, and the top scorer for Japan right now, Ryusei Sasaki, who has gotten to the free throw line a couple of times, cashed it in from deep twice. And he, in fact, actually leads all scorers in the game right now with his 13 points, although he's shooting a 12 efficiency. Obviously, the rest of his squad has been led by Kai Taves as well, who has 10 points of his own. So Sasaki been showing out, and the top scorer for Team China, well, it's the Chinese team captain, who was unavailable in all the qualifying windows before this for this 2025 Asia Cup, but the leading scorer for the Chinese national team with 10 points right now. And what's more interesting is what he's doing when he's not scoring the ball. He's got 4 rebounds as the primary point guard, 3 assists, and has gone 4 for 6 from the field. And his 2-pointers have been falling as well, 4 for 5 from his mid-range jumper in this one. And he actually capped off that first half with the final bucket of the half, scored by either side, and he put it in with 7 seconds left to give China their 17-point lead. And obviously when we talked to Coach Hovas a little bit earlier, he said that, you know, the experimentations doesn't mean they're taking the games in this window any less serious. He said every time you play for your country, it's an important game. You earn respect from your opponents by going out and giving it your all, but every game is a challenge. He said, I want our players to embrace these challenges, push individual and team boundaries while playing our style of basketball. And that way they can continue to move forward and grow. So Coach Hovas doing some experimentation here in the final window of the qualifiers before the Asia Cup starts this summer in Jeddah. But Japan's campaign in the qualifiers, they got off to a flying start with the team handing out a long overdue defeat to their arch rivals in China. And of course, everyone was pinning this one as the quote-unquote revenge game for China after losing last year to Japan. But it was really a one-sided rivalry going all the way back to 2017. China had won 4 in a row, 4 times actually, back in 2021. So they beat Japan twice in June and twice in November. One of the times putting up 106 points. So the last time that Japan and China faced each other before 2024, China put up 106 points. Japan only put up 73. So obviously Both teams sort of trying to solidify their lineups going into the summer. China with a little bit more to prove in this window once they brought back Ray Chow and Chi Cho. Cho has been a missed presence as well, 2.12 meters. You can't beat that. Playing for the Beijing Ducks, the center, back out and playing. And there's Fanbo Song, number 1 there, who tore it up in that first half. Obviously, we mentioned that Ray Chow was the leading scorer, but Fanbo Song has 2 steals and 4 blocks in the contest to go along with 8 points, and was the much needed bucket whenever Japan was starting to go on their little run. Ryusei Sasaki, there you see his stats at the bottom of the page, and he's been great as well. So far the leading scorer for Japan, averaging only 3.5 points per game in only 9.5 minutes, but getting a little more run, as Coach Hovas told us that he would. And as we get set for this second half, one can clearly see, if you look at the stat column, that China is completely out-rebounding Japan in this game, 25 to Japan's 16, including 4 more on the offensive side of the ball. Also doing a great job of sharing the ball as well. 12 assists for China in that first half, 5 for Japan. So the all-around game that China has been playing in this one, statistically, has been higher. 5 blocks, 6 steals for China, and only 4 turnovers in that first half. Japan with 8 turnovers. And China capitalizing on those Japanese turnovers. 8 points off of their turnovers. And I mentioned the pace of play, and both of these teams like to play with a little more pace. Well, at the beginning of the game, both of them were actually slowing it down a little bit more, but 11 fast break points for China. Hey everyone, scan that QR code at the bottom left corner of your screen there. Download the Asia Cup Qualifiers app to stay up to date on everything that is the Asia Cup as we move forward towards Jeddah in the summer of 2025 here. So China has really been using their size in this game. Japan in the second half hopefully can combat how much China is trying to play the inside-out game. China with 28 points in the paint so far compared to Japan's 10, as they've been electing to keep shooting it from the outside. China with a 17-point lead. That's their biggest lead of the game as we start the third quarter. And for those of you just joining us, welcome to the rivalry renewed between China and Japan. And our first foul called at the second half on Japan. Remember, back in the first quarter, Kirk picked up 2 early fouls and then had to sit most of the first quarter and then even into the second quarter. And he picks up another one there. That's his 3rd. Inside Chow, creating some room. And the finish. Chi Cho pounds that one down. From the left side, 3 on the way. Japan's bread and butter has been from 3 so far on the qualifiers as well, but they have not been able to hit them in this ball game. They're trailing by 19. The give off, Song for 3. Taves slowing it down from the outside. The step back from Sasaki. In and out. Chow pushing on the other side, and we'll slow it down now as he gets a new way out on the outside. Cho with the screen. Give and go, and Cho wanted a foul there, and no contact seen by the officials. It's going back the other direction. Chicho did not play in any of the qualifiers leading up to this, but averaging 13.1 points per game. Underneath, Sasaki missed it. Japan still looking for another bucket. Any way to try to get back in this game. Trailing by 19. Cho wants this dance with Kirk down low. Did he step out of bounds? And that's why you wear white shoes. Although, yeah, I will say, I do like Cho's blues on. Those are nice. 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Taves on Song, spinning. Song with the height advantage. Taves with the fadeaway. And then the height wins that time. Jieshu trapped. And threw it off of Sasaki's leg smartly. So clearly a game plan in there is to send the trap if you're on one of the sidelines coming across the half court. Fanbo Song with a give off to Chow. Chow with his mid-range jumper. Couple of missed buckets on both sides of the floor. Taves, the give off. Inoue for three. Missed everything. And that's kind of been the theme for Japan on the threes that they've taken in this ball game. They are 5 for 25 from distance, shooting 20% from three. It's interesting because it almost seemed at one point in time that taking 25 threes in an entire game was crazy, let alone still having 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter. That three just rims out for China, and Kirk fouled as he hauled in the rebound. But so much more of the game now is being played outside of the arc rather than your traditional drive and kick game. Obviously, China has been playing that to a T in this one so far, shooting 58% from two in the ball game. Missed on the other end by Japan. Song inside, fouled on the floor. So Song just went right into the body of Sasaki there, who could not set his feet in time. And that'll be a continuation to his shot, so he'll get to shoot two from the line. Japan with 2 team fouls now. China with only 1. Song makes the first one, shooting free throws at a 66.7% clip. Makes the pair. Song coming off of playing 25 minutes back in the last window, 2 blocks and 7 points against Mongolia in their easy victory. Both those teams actually coming off pretty easy victories over the last squads they played as well. Kirk with 1 to shoot it as time expired, got it off of the rim, but not in. Chow inside, wrapped up, and finishes it. Pumping up the crowd on the foul and 1 attempt coming up. Chow slicing and dicing on the defense, had Suya hanging off of him. And this crowd in the Shenzhen Sports Center loves their captain. Chow back in the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup. Played in all 5 of their games, averaged 12.6 points per game. Puts that one through. He's got 13 points now in the ball game. Japan missing on another 3. Kirk with the rebound. Kirk in traffic. Denied by Cho. Now he'll have to pass it back out. And Japan can reset. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. The step back from Taves. And Cho met him outside. Kirk, no. Biggest deficit of the game, biggest deficit of all of the qualifying windows right now for Team Japan. They're trailing by 24 points. Song catch and shoot. Just rims out, and it looked like Cho combined with Kirk maybe for some friendly fire as that one goes in. Sasaki, who's been hot this game. Tsuya off the mark on that 3. Now by himself. Pump fakes, resets, missed again. Inside. That one out last off of Akaho. Japan from 3-point range in this game, 5 for 29. If my math serves me correctly, that's 17%. So they'll obviously make adjustments as they go into the Asia Cup. That one switched through. Shui Peng Chung in his 3rd season hitting from deep, averaging about 37.5% from beyond the arc. Sasaki through the traffic, steps back, free throw line, good. Good to see from Sasaki, who's now got 15 in the ball game to lead all scorers. Japan trailing by 27. Four minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Taves back up top, Sasaki now. We'll call the play. And they'll get the pick from Watanabe. Looking for the pick and roll there. Sasaki for 3. Five for 30 from beyond the arc. That is a number. 16.67% is what Japan is shooting from 3 in this ball game. 33s taken through 2.5 quarters. 3:40 to go here in the 3rd period. We'll listen in to the huddles.
Yo. Go. Alright? We're not moving on offense. Sensei, we're working on it. Like a slot cut. Five out there, another way. Slot cut. Slot cut. So
Slot cuts.
Alright? I think I'm more. Switch.
They're just lazy. You be such a good kid.
Hey everyone, be sure to scan the bottom left corner of your screen there, Asia Cup. Get the app, follow along with us all summer long and through the qualifying window as well. As you were hearing Coach Hovas saying there, just not enough motion in Japan's offense in the game, kind of living and dying by the 3 ball so far. 5 for 30 in the ball game, have only assisted on 5 shots as a team. So a lot more opportunities here, but definitely a game where Japan can learn from what they have, and once their roster is back at full strength for the Asia Cup in Jeddah, could be interesting. A foul down low there on Jang Cho-Hu. And Akaho will go to the line. Akaho got his first point of his professional national team career in this ball game. Has not played as a senior member of the national team yet. As a small forward steps up to the line to shoot 2. Makes the first one. So at 25 years old, plays for the Akita Northern Haponets in the Japanese B1 League. And he makes the pair there. He's 3 for 4 on his free throws in the ball game, and has 3 points. 3 team fouls apiece here in the third. 3:10 to go still. Ji-Wei Chow gives that one off. Chung off the mark on that one, and a foul on the floor. So China, if they win this game, will retake the #1 spot in Group C of the FIBA Asia Cup. Japan won their last contest 76-73, so China would have to win by 3 or more points for the point differential to matter, because now they'll both have exactly the same record, assuming China goes on to defeat Japan. That one right there, a block by Japan, and then a missed shot by China. The floater, that one will fall. Nice shooter's touch by Tuktu Nakamura. Nakamura averaging 2 points per game. In the last 2 games he played in, averaging 8.4 minutes for the Japan national team. Nice fake and a finish. Saning Liao. A good move there from the second year. A floater again tried. That one goes well over the backstop. Liao back outside to Saning, or excuse me, Ji-Wei Chow. Who set the screen? Chung off to the left side on the 3. So inversely, China really hasn't shot too many threes in the ball game. You know, they're shooting at a 20%. Here's Liao, one-handed jam. In the open court by himself. China up big here in the third quarter. You see at the bottom of your screen there, 15 fast break points, 12 points off of the turnovers. 3 by Konechka, and he'll connect. China also now in the bonus for the final minute and 5 seconds here. That was Konechka's first bucket, missing on a couple threes back in the first half. Liao trying to find some room around Nakamura. Now gives it up inside, and the finisher by Jang Cho-Hu. And he was fouled as he made the bucket as well. So another 3-point attempt for China. And that's another thing China's been able to do, is get to the free throw line as well. When you play that inside-out game, you're more likely to get to the free throw line. More free throws, more points. This will be China's 19th and 20th free throws taken in the ball game. Japan has only gotten 9 free throws, obviously, as they've elected to play from beyond the arc in this contest. 52 seconds left to go in the third quarter. China with a 26-point lead on Japan. So from the line, on the N1 attempt, that one's good. Jang Cho-hoo, who scored in double figures in every single game of the Asia Cup qualifiers. This is his 5th game. He's now got 13 points, and he's got 6 or more made free throws in all of them, and that one goes in for Hosokawa. Final 20 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Coming to a stop. Liao left it short. And Japan can get the final shot as Hosokawa almost lost that one out of bounds. Japan can take the last shot of the quarter. Nakamura steps back, fires a 3. Just rims out. And through 3 quarters of action, China with a 24-point lead in the ball game, 69-45. They're led by as much as 29 points in this ball game. And even though they haven't really shot well from beyond the arc, the inside-out game has been cruising for them. 60.5% from their 2s taken in the ball game as we check out some of the stats there. 38 of their shots coming from the inside. 33 shots for Japan in the game coming from beyond the arc as we check out our best plays from the 3rd quarter there. And of course, the captain, Ray Chow, and the follow-up by Chi Cho. That duo has been missed. Both of them haven't played for the national team since the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup. And of course, Go Shuqiang, the head coach for China, really liking everything that he's seeing from his team here. So you see Chi Cho, you see Ray Chow on multiple of those highlights there. And the 3rd quarter was pretty much dominated by China. So Japan got a couple of 3s to fall, but electing to shoot it from distance a lot in this ball game, shooting it at 21.21%. Hey, scan that QR code at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Streams, schedules, scores, all on Courtside 1891, the app where you can follow all basketball all around the world, all right now. So as we get set for the 4th quarter here, obviously Japan can learn a lot from everything in this ball game, but it's good experience for the younger players on this squad as well, because when they go to the Asia Cup in Jeddah in just a couple of months, you know, playing a powerhouse like China, who was number 3 in the power rankings, and now we can all see why they were ranked 3rd in those power rankings. And they've been pretty dominant so far. That one off the backboard will not go. Now pushing is Hosokawa, and he'll be fouled. Go in that direction by Shuai Peng Chung. So Kirk with the give off to Taves. And now Japan getting a chance to run their offense. They flip it out to Kirk. Kirk guarded and finished. He had Song and Hu right in front of him. And Alex Kirk on the board. Kirk with his 2nd made bucket of the game. Song lining it up and drilling it. Fanbo Song having a stellar game. Now in double figures. for his first time in the qualifiers. On the wraparound. Catch and shoot from who? Oh, yeah. Jiang Cho Hu, who's now had 5 straight games with 10 or more points. Had 20 in their last contest against Mongolia in his 17.5 minutes of play. Kirk working in on Hu. Spins with the right. Finishes. And the foul. Nice move and nice finish from the second year, Alex Kirk. Kirk obviously has the mass to contend with Hu as well. A much needed 2 drops in there for Kirk. He's got 6 points, averaging about 17 in his time in the Asia Cup qualifiers, but shoots free throws at 20%. Didn't play in their last contest as we had a lane violation on Jiwei Chow. So him and Konechka will share a little conversation there on the left side of the basket as Kirk gets a chance to redo. Did miss the first one. Played 29 minutes in the last game he played in here for Japan. Japan trailing by 24. On the wraparound, Ray Chow. Intercepted. Back the other direction now. Hosokawa giving it to Kirk. Kirk down low, steps up and finishes on top of Chi Cho. A 22-point lead for China. Cho now wants his put back on Kirk, and Kirk defensively gets that one done. Throws it very much ahead of Inoue, and Inoue fouled. That one goes on Fanbo Song. Fanbo Song now with 3 personal fouls in the game. From the far side, catch and shoot. Another missed 3 for Japan. Shu down the lane with the right hand, couldn't finish, and a foul. And Kirk collided a little bit there with Chi Cho. Right down low there. So there's the foul on the body, and oh, Kirk took an elbow to the face from Cho. Some inadvertent contact. Go Shu Qiang must be very pleased with what he's seen from his national team in this window, as that first one goes through. And both will fall. So yeah, Shu Qiang is really kind of thinking about the long-term goals of this Chinese national team when we talk to him. As Kirk, he walked all the way from Japan on that one. So Shu Qiang said they're looking towards the long term. The FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers is their short-term goal. They're also the Asia Cup there are also the Asia Cup, Asian Games, World Cup, and even the Olympics waiting for them. And he knows that. So he brought those up to say, you know, the position of the head coach of the national team means more responsibility. And he said, I don't think I've had success, but he often talks about the 5 criteria for selecting players: a strong desire to play for the country, the best players, the players most suitable for the national team, real fighters, and players with best physical and competitive condition. From this standard, you can get a glimpse of how good he is as a head coach. And his team right now is up by 26 points. And like I said, they've been living from the inside out pretty much the entire game, and that's what he values, is their toughness. Chow for 3, yes! Ray Chow with 16 points in the ball game. He's 1 for 2 from beyond the arc, and that one is waved off on the floor. Offensive foul. $29 points is the lead for China right now. That is their biggest lead of the game. And another foul. That time on Japan. Both teams with 3 team fouls here in the 4th quarter. 6:10 to go. Jieshu on the pass. Chow couldn't hang on to it. Somehow got it to the corner. 2 for 3. No. And it's going back the other way. No, they'll keep it here. So when the officials originally signaled for it to be ruled for Japan, and then got overruled from the baseline official to stay, it'll stay on this side. Chicho. And now Jieshu will run the point. He'll be left alone. Nice room, creating some room down low. And the block underneath, and the bear hug by Konechka. It's a nice loving hug on Jieshu. Still a foul though. Some brotherly love on the floor here in Shenzhen, China. The bounce pass inside. Kirk almost trying to detonate on Fanbo Song's head and was fouled. Song, great job there fouling, because otherwise that's a different look at everything. Song willing to contest anything, though. He's got 4 blocks in this game, 2 steals, all of which he had in the first half. But that is his 4th personal foul. Kirk making his first free throw of the 2. Kirk's played all over the place, although he's in his 2nd year playing for Team Japan. Plays for the Ryukyu Golden Kings. He's played all over the place. He's played in China, Italy, Japan, Turkey, and the US. Makes the pair. He's got 11 points now in the ball game. All alone is Shu, and he'll cash. A 30-point lead for China. Japan misses on their 3 attempt on the other side of the floor. They're 7 for 35 from deep. Around the traffic, Jiwei Chow misses that one. So China with their biggest lead of the game. It's 30 points right now. Sasaki looking for a lane, and they'll give it right back to him. Goes right. Elbow extended. So if China wins by at least 3 points, they will be #1 in Group C. going into the games on Sunday. Catch and shoot in the corner. Yes, sir. Jieshu hitting from deep. Shu now in double figures for his first time in the Asia Cup qualifiers. Only averages 12 minutes per game and 1 point per game. And now Japan forced to take a timeout with 4:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. The biggest lead of the game right now, 33 points. Japan's biggest deficit of the Asia Cup qualifiers. That includes all 3 windows up until this point. You see at the bottom of your screen there, they've taken 35 three-point attempts. 35 of their 59 field goal attempts have been from distance, and they made 7 of them. So obviously they'll look to improve that mark. Japan does have some good things, though, about this squad. I mean, you're not going to go 7 for 35 from 3 every single game, you know. As a team that coming into this contest shot 33% from 3. Well, okay, if you take their 35 threes, that's at least 11.5 threes that they would have made in this game. I mean, you make 7, that's close to half as many. So the law of averages will come back into play. And boy, if you make 11.5 threes a game, that's, you know, already about 37, 38 points right there alone. And they trail right now by 33. That 3 on the way, off the mark. By the way, Junlong Chu now in double figures for rebounds. He's got 11. He's had 4 more rebounds in every game he's played in so far. As who's off the mark on that one? Sasaki taking his time. Now Sasaki inside, missed shot by Kawamata. And Chow was off to the races, and Japan fouls him so the defense could get set. That one will go on Ren Konechka, who plays for the Chiba Jets in Japan. As Ray Chow checks out here, his first time playing for the national team since 2023 in a FIBA competition. And this Chinese crowd definitely loves their team captain. Good ball movement there. Liao might have passed up on an open 3, but doesn't matter. He'll give it to Jang Cho-Hu for the bucket. Who is 15 points, or 17 now, in the ball game. Catch and shoot 3, missed that one. Under 3 minutes to go here. From the corner, Jiwei Chow, yes sir! From 3. China pouring it on here in the latter part of the game. Their lead is 38. And Japan fouled. So Sasaki with Jieshu at his hip. Both teams now in the bonus for the final 2.5 minutes of play here in the Shenzhen Sports Center. Sasaki, maybe the one bright spot for this game. He only averaged 9.5 minutes per game and 3.5 points. And this one exploded. Now has 17 points in the ball game. Got to the free throw line a few times. An assist, a rebound, and a couple of steals on the defensive side of the ball as well. His first game in double figures in the qualifying windows. 36 points is the lead for China. Xu trapped up. And now Junlong Chu will go to the line. So Junlong Chu, who averages 8.3 points per game. Also a great free throw shooter. 11 rebounds for the small forward. Makes the first one. Went 4 for 4 in their contest against Mongolia. And in their final contests here on Sunday, China is going to take on Guam. And Japan will get Mongolia to finish out the window. Mongolia and Guam, though, that's an interesting story because they're actually tied right now in point differential and in the win-loss column. So it'll really come down to the final game in the final qualifying window on Sunday. Game day number 6 is what it will be. Nakamura in the traffic. Kawamata almost couldn't hang on to it and missed the shot. Jieshu from deep. Oh yeah! How about another? Xu with 13. China with a 41-point lead. Off to the races now. And it's going back the other direction. Ning Chong just couldn't hang on to it. Sa Ning Liao down on the other end of the floor. And now Japan goes back to work for the final minute and 18 seconds. China with a 28-point fourth quarter right now. Up by 41. This is their biggest lead of the game. This is a statement game in front of their home fans as well. The spin inside, and Chung puts it in. Kick ball going back the other direction. So nothing really went right for Japan in this ball game. Everything pretty much went right for China, who is trying to eclipse 100 points for their second time in in the point differential category. And we're 3-1. We'll likely move to 4-1 now, unless Japan scores 43 points in the final 44.9 seconds of the game. We're going to assume China's going to be 4-1 in the group. Japan will also be 4-1. But Japan's plus-minus coming into the game was point differential was 47. China's was at 114, so now clearly the point differential and head-to-head matchup matter as well. The final 40 seconds of regulation here. Signing Leo goes to the line and will shoot 2. So both coaches obviously learned a lot from this game as well. Coach Hovas for Japan now knows which players that, he can roll with for the Asia Cup, which they've already qualified for. A lot of new players on the roster. 7 guys on the roster in this window that did not play in their last game. So Coach Hovas goes a little bit younger, and Go Shuqiang with this win in front of the home crowd in Shenzhen. Obviously, he's accustomed to winning, and this crowd expects nothing less but for him to provide winning teams, and he's clearly done that. China eclipses 100 points for their second time in the qualifiers. Taves to the outside. Nakamura for 3. Off of the mark. Japan's going to end up going 7 for 39 from three-point distance in this game. Below 18%. Koya Kawamata at the line. Makes his first free throw. Shoots free throws pretty well, actually, as a center. 87.5%. In their last contest where they won over Guam, went 3 for 4 from the line. Those were his only points of the game. But shoots them well. Final 10 seconds. And it looks like China is just going to dribble this one out. And wow, that rematch was quite one-sided. China over Japan 100-58. They win that one by 42 points. Led by as much as 44 in that fourth quarter as well. And it got out of hand early when Japan actually picked up a couple of personal fouls. Kirk and Hosokawa early picked up 2 and actually had to sub out. So they were unable to play for over 6 minutes in the first quarter and nearly half of the second quarter. But obviously both squads learned a lot from that contest and what they can roll with going forward. China is going to take on Guam on Sunday. Japan will take on Mongolia. Both sides did beat those opponents in their last contests, and they were pretty convincing victories as well. We took a look at the final numbers. I was talking about the three-pointers, but also the free throws. Just the inside-out game that China plays. Went to the free throw line 25 times compared to Japan's 16. And China, with those bigger bodies, able to out-rebound Japan by 19. 52 rebounds for China, 33 for Japan. And you check out our leading scorers. Nobody eclipsed a 20 ball, but Sasaki and Hu for China with 17 points to lead their squads. And Hu scored in double figures now in every single game he's played in for this team in his 5 games. Averaged 18.5 points as we check out our best plays from the fourth quarter. Alex Kirk got a couple of buckets there, but China puts up 31 points in their fourth quarter. They put up 19 in both quarters, 1 and 3, and then 31 in both quarters 2 and 4, and that's where Hu got going. He was coming off a 20-plus point game. You know, everyone's asking, can he maintain his dominance as the big man down low inside? And he obviously did really well, but also Chi Cho, they're lucky to have him back as well. So the mix of Cho and Hu down low for China is going to be something that teams from around the Asia Cup are going to have to contend with, because China's got size. That's their strong suit, is they use their size to their advantage. Their game is very much inside out, and obviously the bench loving the way they're playing, and they've got to be lucky to have Ray Chow back. Good pass into the corner, and that 3 ball sunk by Jia Shu over there. And now China able to get everything they wanted in that 4th quarter. So after Japan really renewed that rivalry, they are now on top of Group C here after game day number 5 in terms of point differential as well. They would beat out Japan, and now in the head-to-head matchup, in the point differential, in the head-to-head matchup, they also beat Japan. So they will be most likely the number 1 team out of Group C going into the Asia Cup. Japan does qualify though, and we'll check out our road to the Asia Cup. All of those teams have qualified so far. Japan qualified in the last window. Lebanon alongside the Netherlands, or excuse me, New Zealand, Philippines, China, and of course Australia, who is the number 1 team in the power rankings for the Asia Cup. So a lot of teams qualified here, and Mongolia and Guam still in the race. But that will do it for us, for everyone here in Group C. So long from the Shenzhen Sports Center in the People's Republic of China, where the home team wins 100-58. More teams to watch around the world here in the Continental Cup qualifiers, but that was a fun one. Good night from China.
よろしくお願いします。はい、まずは試合を振り返っていかがですか？
そうですね、非常に悔しい負け方にはなったんですけど、今回主に若いメンバーで、中国に来て、国際大会も初めての選手も何人かいた中で、いい場面もありながら、やっぱりまだまだ課題がいっぱい残ったので、しっかり次につなげたいなと思います。
見つかったこのいい場面、またその具体的にはどんな課題が今見つかりましたか？
そうですね、やっぱり流れが悪くなった時に自分たちのアイデンティティというか、どういうふうに攻めて、どういうふうに守ってバスケットの展開をこれからどんどん探して、それを遂行しないといけないのかなとは思います。
またご自身のプレーとしては、試合の流れを作っていた場面もありました。いかがでしたか？
そうですね、ベンチから出てきて、もうちょっとだけでも、チームにいい流れを持ってこれるように積極的に攻めたつもりです。
またこの中国はアジアカップ本番でも強敵になると思います。対中国というところではどんなことを今考えていますか？
はい、今回本当に悔しいので、次当たった時は必ず勝てるように頑張りたいと思います。
その前にまずはモンゴル戦が次にあります。モンゴル戦に向けて意気込みをお願いいたします。
はい、もう絶対勝ちたいです。
具体的にはどんなところに取り組んでいきますか？どんなところに取り組んでモンゴル戦を迎えますか？
もう今日は全然やっぱりできなかったディフェンストランジションで、オフェンスのシュートセレクションのところをしっかり、修正して、もっといいバスケットをして試合勝ったらいいなと思います。ありがとうございます。
終了しますか？